So I'm in Sandwich Street area in Dublin, which was the site of a migrant encampment several months ago where there was some rioting and fighting and a brawl that happened right around here.
This is our country! Last remain right! This is our country! Hey!
Where's James? Yeah, we went to hit Nicole. Where's James?
It's a little area, and you can still see the remnants of what was left. It is decrepit, as you can see, and some of the messaging here kind of reminds me a bit of the messaging that was in the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone area. So on the left it says house, racist last, refugees and homeless, same struggle. I'm gonna go a bit further. A bit further back you can see it says welcome to free Dublin. There's a lot of rubbish and trash all over. So your name is Gavin Pepper. The press calls you an
immigrant protester is what they've called me in the past.
What are you?
I'm a community activist, and I'm planning on running in the local election next year. And I just want a safer Ireland. I want women and children to be safe in my country, and I believe Ireland is full. We've taken way too many undocumented, unvetted male migrants into the country, and it's undoable. Like, the resources are not there. We've taken in over 100,000 people, but we have 17,000 less beds in the healthcare system. People are waiting 2 and 3 weeks to see doctors. It's gone insane. There's not enough resources when we have 13,000 Irish homeless families living in emergency accommodation, and we've had a homeless crisis for many years in Ireland, and they're not being housed. It's not fair. Like, you know, people shouldn't be skipping people on the list, and that's the issue. Like, people are being skipped. Genuine Irish families, we have Irish homeless people. They should come first. I mean, your resources of your country should be to look after your people first, and then whatever you have left, then you help other people. Like, we welcome genuine refugees. Women and children and families fleeing war and persecution are welcome in Ireland, and they've always been. Ireland's always been that way. But that's not what's been coming to Ireland. We've been getting thousands upon thousands of unvetted, undocumented male migrants coming from the likes of Albania, Georgia, Algeria, countries that are safe countries, that are not at war, and they're causing major problems in the country. So it's very hard to get that message out, because the RTA and the government they won't report the problems that are happening. So this here, as you know, you're on Sandwich Street. This was one of the places where there was an encampment built, and there was migrants staying here, but it was done by an NGO sort of. The NGOs kind of helped push these people in here, and the goal of it was to get them into a building. That's what they were trying to do. So the people of this area, because this is a working class area, and that's the big issue, Andy. It's the working class communities that suffer the most. So what happened here was the people of the area weren't having it. They were coming down to a protest and said, no, you're not having this. These people are harassing people, they're annoying people. They were pissing on the street, they were, urinating, lighting fires, drinking cans, alcohol, harassing women walking past. And these are the things that when people were complaining for, it wasn't being dealt with. Then there was incidents with a man, he was swinging a pole at people and stuff. I'm sure you saw the video of that. It turned out he was a wanted man at that. So what happened was the residents were just not having it, and then one night there was 2 sections. There was people, like mainly NGO people, the Paul Murphys of the world, I call them, and they were saying well, refugees are welcome here, just trying to, and then the others were saying we want these people out of our area. Refugees are welcome here. We want these people, like, this is a lane way. No person should be living. These are not conditions. This is not conditions for anybody. If you're homeless, you should not be in these, living in a tent here. That's unacceptable in my standards. I mean, look at it, you can see it for yourself. somebody, there was a fire at this area, a dreadful fire was lit at this camp. I was gone home and all, and then local politicians like Paul Murphy tried to insinuate that I was the cause of that fire, and then it was proven that I wasn't. But him and the likes of Gary Gannon, these are TDs, because of the statements these people were made. It was actually mainly Gary Gannon as well. My home was raided. Like, the police raided my home in the early hours of the morning. My phone was seized, my jackets were seized, my pregnant partner ended up in the hospital over the shock and fear of this, like, genuinely, because of these politicians. And that's the reason. Then I was brought to a station, I had to give a statement to prove my innocence. And, you know, this is what's going on in Ireland. All for trying to tell people what's going on and try to get a bit of information out. There's a lot of false misinformation given about people, and the answer to everything, when you question the government minister on this, their answer to everything is they're far right, they're far right, they're far... I'm a taxi driver, I'm a father of 5 kids, I'm a working class man. Majority, 99.9% of the people that go on air protests, that have been on protests with us, are mothers and families and people with prams. They're kids, they're family people, and all we're trying to do is, we don't have the resources in our area, put them in the rich area, but they won't put them in the rich area. And that, to me, that's racism. That's posh racism, like, not in my backyard, and we have to call that out. That's how I feel.
What do you want the world to know about what you think is an issue in Ireland?
What I want to know what I want the world to know in Ireland, about Ireland, is we're a good country. We're a welcoming country. We have a great culture. We have a great history. We're, in my opinion, the least racist country in the world. We always have been. But the reality of it is, we don't have any more room. We need to put our people first. There's 13,000 Irish families homeless, and it's time to start looking after their people. It's time to start, we need to close the borders. We need to close the borders. That's what we have to do, close the borders. Send the undocumented, unvetted men home. They've no passport. If you don't have a passport, I can't go on holiday to America or England or without a passport. I need to have a passport, and because of it, I can't get in. But these people are being brought here, put in the bill. So you're asking me what do I want for it? I want a safer country. There's a man after being stabbed in the airport today. People have been harassed at the ESB building. There's been loads of issues. These undocumented men were in crack dens doing drugs. There's loads of issues. The list goes on. So I want them all gone out of my country. I want it to be a safer country again. But I don't want people to mix up the way it's being portrayed. We've had people from Brazil, Venezuela, America, England, all sorts of countries that have lived in Ireland, worked in the tech sector, worked in hospitals, worked in all sides of society all our lives, and there was never that's not. We've always had that. That's what I mean. We're a welcoming country, and the government are using that as a tactic against us. We welcome genuine refugees, but we don't welcome these undocumented men. I want them gone. I want Ireland to be a safer country. I want us to be always the majority in our country. That's an important thing. You know what I mean? But I also want Irish families to be treated first on the list and stuff like that. You should be housed first. It's all about helping your people. As a government, your sole purpose should be to the protection and safety of all your citizens. That you have to give them good services. Our services are appalling. The services are really bad. The healthcare service is abysmal. Do you know what I mean? And I just want a better society for me people.